Let's take a look at Scarlet and Violet booster boxes, Scarlet and Violet era booster boxes, and how they've been doing over the past 6 months. Starting with Scarlet base and what I'm planning to do with these sets. So we're starting with a base set. Generally, base sets don't do really well, and Scarlet and Violet base is no different. It's actually a very weak set. It started off 6 months ago around $191, so just above MSRP, and now it's 241 and 247. So not much changes, but it's on the rise. Still okay for relatively weak set in Scarlet and Violet era, and you can see that TCG player and eBay prices are around the same price, around 247 on TCG and 241 on eBay. Last few sales on eBay 250, 232. Nothing too worried about. There's been some corrections on Sun and Moon era boxes, but it seems like these relatively new Scarlet and Violet base booster boxes aren't really impacted, and they're almost out of print, especially these first era ones. Oh, not first era, these initial booster boxes within the Scarlet and Violet era. And then, yeah, the most surprising one is Paldea Evolved, which has the Shinji Kanda Magic Carp. 6 months ago it was a $229 to $230 box, and now it's a $466 and a $454 booster box. So this is currently the most expensive box at Scarlet and Violet era. Still a bit surprising to me, even until this day. It's really carried by Magic Carp. Other than that, there's not really other noteworthy cards within the set. I mean, it's got the Iono out art and the Tyranitar, but really it's really being carried by Magikarp, and that's what surprises me all the time about why this set is the most expensive, because it's really just Magikarp carrying the set. Paldea Evolved, it's 450, 466 on eBay. Again, eBay and TCG prices aren't too far apart, around the 450 to 460, TCG slightly higher. Would I go into this box? No, I don't think so. Still, to me, I don't think this is a really strong set. It's a decent set with Magic Carp. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just gonna watch this go up over time, but 466 seems to be too high of an entry for me at the moment to go into this particular set. So I'm probably just gonna hold back on that and see how this does. I'd rather focus my funds on the newer sets, where I can get them at MSRP or lower, and even that is quite difficult at the moment because of the poor allocations. And also, yeah, Pokemon seems to just going up on a daily basis, and that's not gonna really last forever. So we'll see. Thirdly, Obsidian Flames, carried by Charizard, but even Charizard itself can't really carry the set. It's one of the weakest sets of Scarlet and Violet era, probably just slightly better than Scarlet and Violet base, but at least we got a card which is Charizard SIR, which is above $100 at the moment. 6 months ago it was a $210, $212 box. Now it's a $333 box on TCG Player. eBay is $310, and on you can see some recent sales on eBay. What's this? Not an auction. People selling for $250. Interesting. And then $315. $349. Don't know what's happened with the $250 over there, but yeah, I guess this is on the 3rd. I'm gonna wait for the price to catch up. Anyways, $300 box again for me. Do I hold this? No, I don't. Am I gonna enter right now? No. 333 seems too high of a value for this particular set. It's really Charizard carrying the set. The other SIRs are quite poor, and artwork is not great. So yeah, I'm just gonna see how this one performs over time. I still have a few Obsidian Flames ETBs that's actually doing better than this booster box. So yeah, for me, I'm just gonna hold on those ETBs. Maybe liquidate a few along the time. And the reason why the ETB is doing so well is primarily because of that Charmander promo that's really doing well at the moment. It's arguably the best artwork of best promo card in the Scarlet and Violet era. And then we have Paradox Rift, which had this rise from 261 all the way to 321, and then now it's coming back to 304. A bit of a difference between eBay and TCG Player, so maybe there's some price manipulation happening in TCG Player. That's why you've seen this a big difference over there. On eBay, it's still selling for 269, so if you want to get this, rather get it from eBay rather than TCG Player. So definitely some distance, but it seems to be converging now. Will I get into this? No. Again, for me, I try to getting into products as low as possible, and fortunately right now that price point is floored by MSRP. Yes, if you're lucky here and there, you can probably get it slightly before MSRP, but otherwise MSRP is probably the lowest you can ever get on these booster boxes. So right now I'm not really looking to enter these boxes, especially because of what I think is Pokemon is in potential correction phase or sometime soon. Yes, there's the 50th anniversary coming up, so probably the hype is going to still last for some time, but I think the bear market and correction is coming soon. So that's why I'm a bit wary about entering into these booster boxes, especially these weaker sets at this price point. If reprints come through and I'm able to pick it up at MSRP, I might enter, but right now, no, not for me. Temporal Forces, 6 months ago, 196, and now 265. Price-wise, slightly different, but not as far apart as Temporal Forces. I mean, not as far apart as Paradox Rift. Temporal Forces 300. I can see over here what is going on. Okay, it has a half booster box. 280, 300, and now it's 265. Yeah, it's also the weakest sets of Scarlet and Violet era. Am I gonna enter at this price? No, not for me. Do I have a booster box? No, I also don't. And again, trying to get things at MSRP, man, and or a low entry point. So not for me. Skipping this. And then Twilight Masquerade. This is where it's quite interesting. You can get it on eBay for 349 on the 3rd, 334, and now it's 254 showing over there. So what's happening over there? Okay, something is happening. So maybe it needs time to adjust. Otherwise, if we look at this, there's definitely a huge price difference, which seems to point out that there's manipulation happening on TCG Player. Again, yeah, wary of this, not entering this. This is probably slightly on the stronger side of booster boxes, but still not for me. I'm not really entering at the moment. I'm waiting for MSRP. This is probably not gonna be printed again, because it's close, like the other Scarlet and Violet era boxes. It is close to its reprint cycle ending, so yeah, it's really up to you. I try to just get products upon release and then hold them for 3 to 5 years. So yeah, it's good to see that these boxes are doing well, but not entering anymore at this price. Even Stellar Crown, again, one of the weaker sets. 276, 239. 6 months ago it was 200, so still doing relatively well for a 6 month period. And yeah, it's just still one of the weakest sets. Not going into any more of these boxes at these prices, but just good for them to see them doing well. Okay, now moving on to Surgeon's Box, probably one of the stronger sets in the Scarlet and Violet era, just shy of perhaps Distant Rivals and arguably Paldea Evolved, if you want to, which is a set carried by the Magikarp. Surgeon's Box is carried by Pikachu, but you also have other chase cards such as the Latias. So right now, what's this box looking at? 284 on eBay and 274 on TCG Player. 6 months ago, it wasn't really doing much. There was a reprint recently, and I was able to get in at MSRP. So that's really my holding for now. I'm not really looking to add more. 274 is even broke 300, but now it's dropped down again. So it's one of the newest sets, so it's still relatively so it's still a sort of a chance for another reprint to happen. So that is why it hasn't shot up yet. But I think after it's met the end of its reprint cycle, this box will do quite well. It should go relatively quick above 300 and 400 as the reprint cycle ends. So yeah, definitely something I'm holding at the moment, but not looking to add more at this price. Unless there's another reprint coming through, then I'll pick it up at MSRP. Generate Together booster box. Yeah, this is a funny one. This is also a set that's relatively weak, but a mid set. Not as weak as Scarlet and Violet base, but it's just stuck between two relatively strong sets, Surging Sparks and then Distant Rivals. And there's another specialty set, which is Prismatic Evolution, so maybe it got overshadowed by that. But right now, 6 months ago, it was a $226 box, and now it's $261, so it's not really moving. Like Surging Sparks, it's still within its reprint cycle, and because it's overshadowed by two relatively strong sets, it's sort of 261. So I managed to get booster boxes at MSRP upon release, and I'm holding them, not looking to add more at these prices at the moment. Could it do well in the long term? Maybe, because it's the first set that has the box topper, and then you have the trainer and the Pokemon, so this might do well. Might be a undervalued set at the moment, so I'm just holding what I have at the moment. And then yeah, let's see how it goes. Distant Rivals, arguably the strongest set in Sword and Shield. I mean, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet. Strongest main set in Scarlet and Violet. I think the set value is over $2,000, and on eBay it's $411 and TCG Player $383. Interesting. Okay, I wonder what this 210 is and this 508 is. Whatever's happening over there. But right now, yeah, TCG and eBay definitely seeing a drop in price recently because of the recent reprint on Pokemon Center. So lots of stock coming, and so causing a drop from this 465 or 54 now below 400. So definitely not adding more to my position at the moment. I do have a very small position, fortunately, due to poor allocations. So just holding what I have at the moment, not looking to add at these high prices. And yeah, just waiting for the 3-year print cycle to end. And then that's pretty much Scarlet and Violet era. Then we have Mega Evolutions, starting with the Enhanced Booster Box, eBay 311, and then TCG Player 307. 6 months ago it was 200, but bear in mind this is just a very new set. It literally released in the US in September, last week of September. Locally we only got our stock just yesterday, 2 days ago. So yeah, with these new sets, as supply comes out, yeah, these are gonna drop, but seems to be holding well despite it being released in September 26th in the US. And yeah, 300. I'm okay with my current position. Okay, I don't have the enhanced booster box, but I have the normal booster box. Holding what I have and then just observing over time and wait for the reprint cycle to end and see how the product box does, and then I'll make a decision. But yeah, out the gate, even despite it being a base set, and base set's not doing very well in the history of Pokemon, it's a really strong base set and seems to be getting a lot of attention and very popular, especially with the introduction of the new rarity Myrrh and God of War and Lucario gold cards, fetching really high prices, around the $500 region. So definitely a set to look out for, and even some ancillary products are doing quite well. Thinking about the ETBs and the nice promos that it has inside of Alakazam, and even what Riolu. I mean, initially I thought the Alakazam artwork was quite mid, but bear in mind it's a Gen 1 Pokemon, so maybe it has some legs in the future. Even that Psyduck, I do think that's generally pushed up because of its playability, but also because Psyduck is quite a popular Pokemon, and that's why it's doing quite well. Because if you look over here, I'm just going to show you the Psyduck, $32 already. $32 already for, and $35 on TCG Player for just the 3-pack blister, and the Psyduck itself is doing very well. I think it's a $12 card at the moment, and this is just this normal promo. Okay, anyways, yeah, that's really my take. I would say Again, my strategy is always to get products early on upon release at MSRP or lower. These days at MSRP, and then you just hold whatever you can get your hands on according to your budgets, and then just wait for the 3-year print cycle. I don't really want to chase market prices. I'll add to my position if it's a strong set upon reprints. Otherwise, I just observe the market and not waste too much time. Okay, anyways, that's it for now. Catch you next one.